going to move on to the latest on the Boeing investigation. This morning, Boeing is set to brief hundreds of pilots and tech experts on the 737 MAX software update. This comes after they faced that trouble overnight of one of its 737 MAX 8 jets making an emergency landing on a flight to go into storage. ABC's David Curley is at the Boeing plant outside Seattle with more. Good morning, David.
Morning, Michael. That is a 737 MAX behind me. This is where Boeing builds them. And today, with 200 customers, tries to resell this jet with that software update. This, as one of these aircraft got some unwanted attention yesterday. This morning, this Boeing 737 MAX in the news after taking off and declaring an emergency.
We just lost our right engine, needed to declare emergency.
That emergency forcing the two pilots to circle back to Orlando Airport, landing with just its left engine operating. No passengers on board. The pilots plan to ferry the jet to Southern California's high desert, where Southwest is storing its MAXs. The entire fleet around the world still grounded. This morning, Boeing's next step to get the jets back in the air, following those two crashes of brand new MAXs, going down after similar problems right after takeoff. In at least the Indonesian crash, that anti-stall system, getting bad data from one sensor, nosed the jet up and down 21 times. The pilots fighting it, but never turning off the system. The jet crashes. This software update will require more data before triggering that safety system and will make it easier for a pilot to recover. It will only nose down the aircraft once. Now, that software update has to be approved, certified by the FAA. Looks like that's going to be pushed off till next week, so it could be a couple of more weeks or longer, Robin, before this grounding of the fleet is lifted.
Oh, my.
Robin?
All right, David, thank you. Now that the showdown over health care, the Trump administration launching that attempt to repeal the Affordable Care Act, and now Democrats, as you know, are responding. Mary Bruce has more. She's there on Capitol Hill for us. Good morning, Mary.
Good morning, Robin. Well, there is a new battle brewing here over health care. This move by the Trump administration to strike down the entire Affordable Care Act could leave millions of Americans without coverage, including those with pre-existing conditions. But the president seems to be welcoming this fight ahead of the 2020 election. Yesterday, telling me that the Republican Party will become known as the party of health care. But when I pressed him on what his plan is to replace Obamacare, well, he didn't respond. And that is part of the reason why Democrats here feel like this is such a political gift. They are quick to point out that Republicans right now do not have a new replacement plan, Robin.
Yeah, nothing to replace it. Joe Biden made some headlines overnight.
Yeah, Robin, talking about Anita Hill, this is part of Biden's history that is sure to draw fresh scrutiny should he decide to jump into the presidential race, especially in this Me Too era. Joe Biden at the time was the chair of the Senate Judiciary Committee when Anita Hill came before his committee to testify about Clarence Thomas's alleged sexual misconduct. And now overnight, he's again apologizing for the way she was treated then. Take a listen.
There are a bunch of white guys. No, I mean it sincerely. A bunch of white guys hearing this testimony on the Senate Judiciary Committee. So when Anita Hill came to testify, she faced a committee that didn't fully understand what the hell it was all about. To this day, I regret I couldn't come up with a way to get her the kind of hearing she deserved.
But Robin, it is not clear if these kinds of comments are going to be enough to satisfy Biden's critics, who point out that he still has not personally apologized to Anita Hill. Robin.
All right, Mary, thank you. Michael?
All right, thank you, Robin. Now the latest on embattled Patriots owner Robert Kraft. He's officially pleaded not guilty to those charges of soliciting a prostitute. And NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell weighed in for the first time at the NFL's owners meeting, saying the personal conduct policy applies to everybody. And when we have all the information, we will be fair and smart about it. TJ Holmes is here. And TJ, another big headlines coming out of the meeting, a big rule change on pass interference.
This is a major change in the way NFL games are officiated. Saints fans, look away. But this is the play that caused the outrage. And if this rule had been in place 2 months ago, the Saints, not the Rams, would have gone to the Super Bowl. Yes, this was the non-call on that pass interference. It was obvious. Well, now the rule has been changed to where this play can be reviewed. They can review a call and a non-call. This was a non-call, so the booth could have reviewed it. The rule changed. This would have changed everything, but this was a response to the outrage. Robin, you can look back now.
Yeah, we're done. The replay is over. You can look back now.
Thank you.
But this is a big change. It's, you know,
huge.
Because they've tried to not call things or have this happen because they want to speed up the game. But I think people at home want them to get it right.
I'm going to try this for a year.
Try for a year. All right, see where it goes from there.
All right,
Thank you,
guys.
TJ.
All right, Robin.
Thank you, TJ. Jussie Smollett's lawyer is coming up. A lot of questions for her.
Also, well, let's go first now to Ginger.
And I've got to share with you some pictures out of Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. The governor actually toured there, where hundreds of thousands of damage already from flooding. And we're talking about new flooding that's happening. Le Sueur, Minnesota. That's the Minnesota River going over that road there, and more rain with impulses coming to the West Coast toward the end of this week. Your local weather in 30 seconds. First, the Warm Cities, sponsored by Sherwin-Williams.
Bring color to life with the very best paint, only at your Sherwin-Williams store.
Early in the morning, it's the dawn of a new day. New hopes, new dreams, new ways. I open up my heart and I'm gonna do my part and make this a positively beautiful day.
Right back.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.